Hello, welcome to Jana's Kosher Kitchen. Chag Sameach for Hanukkah, and in honor of Hanukkah, we are going to be making homemade chocolate gelt. The ingredients for chocolate gelt are really easy. All it is chocolate. So we need to buy, you can use any kind of chocolate you want, semi-sweet chocolate, milk chocolate, or white chocolate. I use the Ghirardelli chocolate, 60%. You want to have 70% cocoa or less than that. You don't want it to be more than that. And what we do with this is we temper the chocolate. We temper the chocolate because that allows the chocolate gelt, the candy, when we are finished to be shiny. So to temper the chocolate, it's very easy. You take the chocolate out of the wrapper, and 2/3 of the chocolate that you're going to use goes into a large mixing bowl, and we're going to be microwaving that. 1/3 of it we keep cold, and once the chocolate is melted and warm, we are going to be mixing that in, and that's how we temper the chocolate, and it keeps it nice and shiny and beautiful. So I'm going to use my microwave, and I am going to we want to be careful that we don't burn the chocolate. Chocolate burns rather easily, and I want to make sure we don't burn the chocolate. So I am going to put it on 20 seconds at a time and mix it in between so we get it nice and evenly melted. In between each 20 seconds, I'm going to be stirring it and putting it back in. I'm not sure how long it'll take me to do this because I'm using more chocolate than I used before when I was trying this out. But we'll see, just every 20 seconds. So here's 20 seconds. It hasn't really melted, but I'm going to do what it says by just stirring it up. And I will be putting it back in for another 20 seconds. So this chocolate is completely melted now. I counted how many times I put it in the microwave for 20 seconds each time, and it was 8 because of how much chocolate I'm using. When I trialed this recipe, I did it with a lot less chocolate, and it took me 3 times. So it'll just depend on how much chocolate you use. I'm taking the 3rd chocolate, and I'm just dropping it right in the melted chocolate, and I'm gonna stir it until this becomes melted completely. I'm not sure why this tempers the chocolate and why it allows it to stay shiny, but it does. Now, if the chocolate gets a little bit too cool for you to spoon it into the mold that you're using, you can go ahead and put it back in the microwave, and I would do that for another 20 seconds until it warms up again. And it will still stay shiny. It'll still be tempered, and the chocolate will still stay shiny once it's out of the refrigerator. And I know that because I did it. So now all of the chocolate that was room temperature is mixed up with the warm chocolate, and it's all melted. It looks so good. So what I'm going to do now is take a spoon and just put this melted chocolate right into the molds that I have. Now I bought these molds on Amazon. You can buy them on Amazon, or you can just use a muffin tin. I'll use a smaller spoon so I can get it into the cracks. Now this mold has a menorah that says Chag Sameach on it. And once I have it in the molds, I'm going to tap the mold on the counter to make sure that all of the air is out of it and there's no air pockets. We have a few little. Now you don't have to grease in any way the molds before you put the chocolate in, because we're going to put these in the freezer for them to set up. And once it's in the freezer, the chocolate decreases in size a little bit. So when you turn the molds over, they come right out, and they're beautiful. So I'm going to do this mold also. This one has a Jewish star at the bottom, which I love. I'm not going to do all of these. I'll do them a little bit later. And this one has a dreidel, and this one is a little bit thicker. So I'm not going to make it too thick. I'm going to put these in the freezer, and when they are ready, when they're frozen, we'll come back and I'll show you how to take them out and wrap them so they look like Hanukkah Gelt. Now, if you don't have these molds, which is fine, you can go ahead and just use plain muffin tins. So I have a mini muffin tin that I'm going to use. And again, you don't need to grease it. It'll all come right out. And again, I'm not going to fill them to the top because we don't want, I'll be sending this to my children, who I think will get a big kick out of it being homemade Hanukkah Gelt. And I'll be giving some to my friends who have young grandchildren who might get a kick out of Hanukkah Gelt that has been made. If I had any young children at home with me, I would do this with them because I think they would have a good time. The chocolate is staying nice and warm. It's not hot, but it's just staying melted and easy for me to scoop out. So I just took the molds out of the freezer, and they're all nicely done. And look at that, a beautiful Jewish star, shiny chocolate. Look how beautiful that is. And here's the dreidel one. Comes right out. Look at how gorgeous. And this one, if you can read it, it says Chag Sameach and has a menorah on it. So now what I'm going to do is wrap them. And I've chosen to wrap them in aluminum foil because it works really well. And I just put the top of it, the front of it, and the bottom, and wrap it up and make it into a nice circle so it looks like Hanukkah Gelt, and you can see the dreidel popping through it. I'm going to do one with the Jewish star so you can see how lovely this looks. Now you can buy gold color aluminum foil, but I did not do that. That's something I would certainly think about. And here's our Jewish star. And here is our Chag Sameach. I think I need a piece that's a little bit bigger for this one. Yeah, I need a piece that's a little bigger for this one. This one you don't see the Chag Sameach quite as well through the aluminum foil, but they will see it when they open up the aluminum foil to eat the candy. So there you go, homemade Hanukkah Gelt for everybody to enjoy. And for those of you who use the muffin tin, all you need to do is tip it over. The candy comes out, it looks beautiful, nice and shiny. And go right ahead and wrap it up. And it looks like a beautiful piece of Hanukkah Gelt. B'te'avan.